Hello friends, and welcome back to playing tribute to the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. Great Ace Attorney Adventures, first game of the two of them. Where, what a place to see here on the title screen. If you remember, there was a secret conversation between Susato and Sholmes before she left in the small hours of the morning. But we are jumping into the court for our adventure of the unspeakable story here, last case of the game, where we're gonna do our best to defend Gina Lestrade and yeah, without Susato. When I woke the following morning, Susato-san was already gone. Outside the window, the rain came down in sheets. And so began an even longer day than the last, one that I would remember for the rest of my days. Oh boy. It's going to be a big deal, all these remaining parts of this game. I believe that there are 8 total parts to this case, which means that there are 4 trial parts. And as a day that I will remember for the rest of my days, I guess we'll see what happens here. Good morning, Gina. I'm determined to prove your innocence today. I'm sure we can do it. So where's your friend then? Sorry. You know, her in the fancy dress. Susato, or however you say it. I don't know. Miss Susato had to leave early this morning. She was already gone by the time I woke up. You alright with that, are you? Forget about me if you like. Go and see her off. Well, it's too late for that now. It's fine. It's not as though Miss Susato and I won't meet again. One day. Even so. But you, Gina. You only get one chance. This trial today is all we have. Good morning, you two. I think it's Iris. Yep. She's got the cat with her. How are you feeling, Ginny? Did you manage to sleep? Iris, what are you doing here? What do you mean? When a friend is in need, we show our support. Isn't that right, Waggy? Waggy! Great way to show your support, kitty. Let him have a nose around. What are I'm gonna do? Oh, that reminds me. I bought a paper on the way here. Anything good? Now, would you like the good news or the bad news? Oh boy. What do you say, Bruno? Ginny? Well, I think I'd rather get the bad news out of the way first. Nah, always take the good news first. I might not live to hear the bad. Yeah, that question always gives away people's personalities. Let's not go there. Alright then, I'll give you the bad news first. A record amount of rain has fallen this morning, and carriages all over the capital are struggling to move. Huh? The bad news was a weather report? Well, that's great then. So I hope that Susie made her train to Dover, and that the train isn't delayed on its way to the port. Gosh, yes. Alright then, so what's the good news? Well, the rain is forecast to subside this afternoon. So even if the train is delayed, it should be able to make it up time later. Well, that is good news, isn't it? I thought it was going to have to do with the trial. I couldn't give a monkey's, really. If only all good news canceled out the bad. And look, the trial has made the headlines too. Pawnbroker perishes in pick-purse plunder. See? Oh, you like that. Well, let them say what they want. See if I care. I can't because you're covering your face. Don't worry, Runa will soon show everyone that this headline is nonsense. I will. And then, in tomorrow's papers, the headlines will be Discharged Diver's Dauntless Do-Gooder. Isn't that right, Runa? Yes. Let's hope so. course they will. I have absolute faith in you. How was that? I was trying to sound like Susie. Did it work? Did it? It's like she was still here. Oh, was that supposed to be an invitation? Of course you will. I have absolute faith in you. There. Should probably take a look at that. Good luck then, Runo. I'll do what I can. Uh-oh, I forgot to plug in my computer again. Oops, sorry about that. I guess I should have paused it instead of doing this while still running, but apologies for the technical difficulties. All good. Should be good. There we go. Well then, my computer is still asking me things. That's fine. Alright. Pawnbroker perishes in pick purse plunder. How awful. Virginia. Tomorrow's headline will be Discharged Divers Dauntless Do-Gooder, right? Yeah, something like that. If possible, I'd like to go even bigger. Bigger? How? Proud pickpocket protects planet post-trial. Perhaps? Protects planet? Oh, I can't wait for tomorrow now. It's going to be so great. What else we got here? There's a sensational story lower down the front page as well. Look. Ministry Mole classified secrets may have been leaked overseas from Ministry of Justice. Oh, that explains it. For a 10-year-old. Iris certainly has her finger on the pulse of world news. It's about secret communications between Great Britain and its allies. Apparently, they're being intercepted by hostile nations. Communications are being intercepted? How would somebody be doing that? That's the question, isn't it? I've come up with 3 different possible methods so far. Are you looking for a new career, Runo? No, of course not. I wonder, perhaps this is what Lord Strongheart was talking about yesterday? Yes, it could be. And it could explain why he has Gregsy running from pillar to post at the moment. Okay, good. Always good to get all of the information as soon as you get the evidence. Good luck then, Runo. I'll do what I can. Obviously, I don't know the law like Susie does, but still. I'll be by your side the whole time, giving you moral support and encouragement. I'm not sure that big thing is as comforting as you think it is, to be honest, but thank you, Iris. That's very kind of you. Oh yeah, Iris? Yes, Jenny? Well, I was wondering is all about Sholmes. Did they fix him up alright? Yes, the operation was a great success. But Hurley still hasn't come around yet. Eh? I've asked a friend of mine at Scotland Yard to send a telegram as soon as he wakes up. I'm sure Gregson will let us know the moment there's news. Okay, so we haven't heard anything yet, even though he is awake. We know that from the last scene. Oh, right. No Susato-san and no Mr. Sholmes. It's all down to me today, to prove that Gina is innocent of this crime. Miss Gina Lestrade, counsel for the defense. The trial is about to begin. Please make your way to the courtroom. It's time then. Yes, let's go, Gina. Iris. Lead the way, Runo. Poor Gina. She's trying to put on a brave face, but I can tell she's worried and scared. I have to believe in her from start to finish. That's the weapon that will secure our victory here. I notice we don't have our jacket anymore. Should probably... I hope we have that in evidence, though. Do we not have that in evidence? Do we at least have it here? No. Wow. Nothing. Alright. If I learned anything from my great friend, it's that. Oh, sorry, I was distracted, so I did that. Oh, believing in her, yes, is the weapon. In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session. This trial shall determine the guilt or innocence of Miss Gina Lestrade. I now call upon the counsels for the prosecution and defense to declare their willingness to proceed. The prosecution is ready. The defense is ready. Welcome back, Van Zeeks. Lord Van Zeeks! My lord. Remind me, how many years ago was it that you withdrew from the public prosecution service? It was some 5 years ago. Yes, and 2 months ago you resurfaced somewhat unexpectedly. Here you are again today. There's some circumstances of which the court should be aware that have led to this erratic behavior. In what one might describe as your former life 5 years past. You dealt exclusively in matters concerned with the highest echelons of society and government. Really? Yet today you choose to try a simple case of burglary and murder. I confess I find it worth a little befuddling, counsel. There are two types of person I cannot abide. Firstly, there's one of the scoundrels who hide behind a mask of philanthropy to cheat the public at large. He means Mr. McGilded, who you defended against the Reaper 2 months ago. Yes, I just about managed to work that out. Thank you. Magnus McGilded, if I knew what a monster he was, I never would have defended him. And secondly, even more loathsome. Those wily scoundrels who masquerade as allies and want to reflect total betrayal in the final hour. In other words, the comfortables, tricksters from those tiny islands in the Far East. The Nipponese. What? Did you really just say that? He means you now, Reno. I actually managed to work that out too, thank you, Iris. Total betrayal? What are you talking about? A torrid look of hatred in Lord Van Zeek's eyes. Was that directed solely at me? Or was he talking about all Japanese people? An alarming explanation, Lord Van Zeek's. Still, the judiciary welcomes the return of a so-called Reaper of the Big, feared by all London's malefactors. Your lordship is too kind. Now, jurors, the 6 of you have been selected at random to represent the will of the people in this trial. Are you ready to hear the evidence placed before you and determine the guilt or innocence of the defendant? Wait a second. Wait a second. Hold on. Do you see what I see, I wonder? Former lieutenant in the British Army here, don't you know? Chops like me were born ready. Clean crockery, clean cutlery, and clean conscience. His lordship's motto is very appropriate. I forgot about this guy. Everything will be stereoscopic in the future. Absolutely, absolutely everything. And I'm ready for it. I don't understand it. I can't have left it in there. It's not possible. Could I have? Women indispensable to society. Stop. Female-centric future awaits. Stop. Good day. I am visiting London for sightseeing. I should make his voice. Oh, hold on, I can do better for his voice. Good day. I am visiting London for sightseeing. I would like to take bus to Crystal Tower, please. Is something wrong, Reno? Oh, not exactly. It's just... I'm fairly sure I recognize these jurors. Almost all of them, in fact. Really? Funny coincidences like that do happen from time to time, don't they? But it is quite strange. The jurors are chosen at random from London's 6 million inhabitants, you know? So I've been led to believe. Something tells me I'm being duped. Very well. Now, Lord Van Zeeks, the court calls upon the prosecution to introduce the facts of the case. As you wish, my lord. Allow me to begin with a word of warning to the ladies and gentlemen of the jury. In short, I There has never been a more self-evident case of cold-blooded murder. The victim, Mr. Pop Windebank, proprietor of a pawn shop on Baker Street, was shot from behind and died instantly. The prosecution presents this photographic print of the crime scene. As the court will observe, there is a single bullet wound just below the gentleman's left shoulder. The evidence suggests that the bullet pierced the man's heart, resulting in near instant death. Moving on to the findings of Scotland Yard's coroner, his report states that the bullet entered the body on a rising diagonal trajectory. And what's that supposed to tell us? The shooter was shorter than him. It means the victim was likely shot by someone significantly shorter in height than himself. Someone like the accused, you might say. The prosecution wishes to present the autopsy report of the crime scene. The autopsy report and crime scene photograph as evidence report. Indeed, the court accepts. Hand them to the bailiff, please. Report prepared by Scotland Yard. Coroner confirms instant death due to a single bullet wound from the back. No other signs of trauma. Shows a single bullet. I now ask the court to turn its attention to this plan of the establishment where the incident occurred. Let me very quickly look at it. Windebank, pawnbroker, time of death 1 to 1:30 a.m. Hey, look at me, I'm the reporting party. Single bullet wound, upper half victim said no other physical signs of trauma. Instant death from postero-anterior bullet wound. Okay. The bullet entered the body from the back and on a gently rising diagonal trajectory. Okay. Plan of the establishment where the incident occurred. Okay, this is nice. This is showing. The proprietor was found in a store where he kept articles pawned. A windowless room with a single point of entry. A door to the main shop that was found locked. In the sealed chamber, there were only 2 persons present. And it shows them both lying there. The victim, Mr. Windebank, and the accused. That guy wants to see the Crystal Tower. Wasn't there like a whole thing that that Shulm said about blowing up the Crystal Tower or whatever? Anyway, it may further interest the court to know that when the accused was discovered at the scene, she had in her hand the gun used to fire the fatal bullets. So you did match the bullet with the gun. Are you able to do that? Is that a thing that can be done in this day and age in this prequel thing? Well, that's it then, isn't it? Nothing more to say. Isn't that grubby little girl pickpocket anyway? She's one of those filthy drabs that live in the slums in the East End. Oh well, it was only a matter of time before she got blood on her hands then. What are the jurors waiting for? The girl's guilty. We can't jump to conclusions here. We mustn't assume her guilt because of what she has to do to survive. My learned Nipponese friend, it is you who mustn't jump to conclusions. The prosecution has barely begun presenting its case. Conveniently, this appalling act of murder did not go unobserved. There were witnesses. What? There were witnesses? Unless you mean the two thugs. After their testimony, this girl's true nature will be exposed. Pitiful pig purse. A cold-hearted killer. Here's to establishing the truth. The court will take the floor plan and firearm into evidence. Hand them to the bailiff, please, Lord Ventus. At once, my lord. Oh, good. We need to look at it. Crime scene floor plan. And revolver. This isn't good. Okay, let's see what we have here. Floor plan, probably not much to look at, just the usual. Let's see what we have to say about the bullet. We do know that he only had one bullet. So, yeah. But now there's no bullet. I think they did say that. This is Mr. Windibank's gun. The cylinder is completely empty. Yeah. Mr. Windibank always used to keep this gun on hand in the shop counter. Yeah, but only ever with a single bullet loaded, I understand. That's right, to keep all the pawned articles that were in his care safe. Which is when bullet was fired that night, and the poor man lost his life. Was he protecting his shop, I wonder? Trying to keep the articles safe? Is this a different thing? Oh no, it's the same thing. Okay. I feel like the mood in here has turned very gloomy all of a sudden, Bruno. I think that's because it has. Oh! Wow, okay. Getting straight to business here. Not even keeping the cape on for the first part of this. Right down to business. Let us begin. Bring forth the witnesses of foul murder of Mr. Pop Windibank on 16th of April this year. So specific. Witnesses, state your names and occupations for the court. I have to figure out good voices for these two creeps here. Name's Nash Skulkin. Occupation is baddie, professional baddie. What's with the fruit? Name's Ringo Skulkin. Occupation's same as him. Tobias Grayson, Scotland Yard Inspector. That's right, we're what they call the Three Skulkin Brothers. Three. What are you looking at me like that for? Don't lump me in with you lot. Gore blimey, that's cold. Don't you know what we're going for, Frew? It's our order, bruv. It's our older bruv. Lost contact with him we have. So we're scouring every shady corner of the capital. And then last night, we come across you, the very spite of the bloke. Ain't that right, Ringo? He is, Nash, he is. Very spit of him. Wait, what? Are they saying that he looks like him? Is that what spit of the bloke means? So they're saying that Gregson looks like their older brother. Well then. So we decide there and then what we was gonna do. We was gonna call you Big Bruv Sulky. Come on, leave it out, you two. Sulky skulkin'. And that's before he's run out of chips. Well then, Inspector Sulky Gregson. Begging your pardon, my lord, but the name's Tobias. What I would like to know, Inspector, is what you are doing on the witness stand. The Skulkin brothers are currently under arrest on suspicion of theft. Thieves, are they? Those three? No, my lord. Begging your pardon, but please don't let me in with this lot. 2 nights ago, these two brothers illegally entered an establishment with intent to burn. And in the course of their nefarious activities, they became embroiled in a far more sinister crime. By Jove, you mean to say? What an extraordinary coincidence! Indeed, my lord. While attempting to burglarize this pawnbrokery, they witnessed its proprietor's murder. Order! Order! The various trespasses of these brothers is not the subject of today's proceedings, that they will naturally face trial in the very near future. With your lordship's permission, I'd like to remain in the stand to keep these gents in the straight and narrow. Of course, Inspector, skeptical as I am about the caliber of these witnesses, I will permit them to take the stand. Mr. and Mrs. Skulkin. Mr. and Mr. Skulkin. I don't know why... Okay, wouldn't it be Messrs. Skulkin? Like Mr. and Mr. would be Messrs. Plural Misters or Messrs. You will now testify before the court. I learned that recently. Describe the events of the night in question and what exactly you saw. Happy to. Cause a Skulkin never skulkin'. Get out of it. It was walking down Baker Street in the small hours, and the gaff's door was ajar, see? It was like some kind of sign, begging for us to go in, it was. I already forgot their voices that I gave them. But once we got inside, blimey lommy, we heard a gunshot from the back room. We went to see what was what, but the door was locked from the inside. We never done nothing, Governor. We never took nothing. We just left it at that, nice and quiet. I don't think you didn't do anything. Terrible coincidence, it would seem. At the precise moment these miscreants entered the property, and even more sinister crime was afoot. The witness's testimony is consistent. Oh, the witness's testimony is consistent with the crime scene in every detail. The door providing access to the storeroom of the main shop was indeed locked from the inside. Yep, I saw as much. And within, only the victim and the accused were found. I must say, it does appear to be an overwhelmingly simple case. Still, the defense may cross-examine the witnesses now, of course. Counsel, if you please. Has he been staring at them like that the entire time? I bet he has. We haven't gone back to him yet. Counsel. Yes. What's the matter, Rena? Sorry, I was just stunned into silence for a minute by the blatant lies being told by that pair on the stand. I know that it's all nonsense because I saw it with my own eyes. I'll just have to expose their testimony for the pack of flies it is. Shall we press just the important stuff then? No need to press everything and waste time with these guys. I mean, I don't think I have anything to present in this particular instance. So I do just have to press it. Hold it! You didn't do or take anything. Is that your story? Well, it's bedlam soon as weren't it? It was, Nash, it was. Didn't even have time to put me Dukes and Lucy lockets. So with no time to take your hands out of your pockets, you just left nice and quietly, you say. That's right, Governor. Nothing we ain't more than the violence. Peace-loving nibblers we are, no blooders. We are, Nash, we are. Never even pulled my dukes out in loosey lockets. So you'd clearly like us to believe. Come again? As you fled from the pawnbrokers that night, did you not run into anyone else? And did you not fire a gun at that person? Saints alive, they fired a gun, you say? Ah! Blimey, Governor. You ain't telling us it was you in the doorway. It was. Why, the bleeding Nora. Didn't you mention that before? You were armed with a gun. And as you fled the scene, you fired that gun. At London's greatest detective, Sherlock Sholmes. They shot the great Mr. Sholmes? I did hear that, actually. There was a rumor he'd been rushed to hospital. The great Sholmes? That's beyond the pale. On the night in question, this pair were arrested by police within minutes of the discovery of the crimes. A suspicious countenance rapidly gave them away. And when searched, the firearm was indeed found in their possession. Furthermore, the barrel shows signs of a shot having been fired from it. The prosecution invites his lordship to examine the firearm recovered from his brothers. Yes, indeed. Remnants of powder around the muzzle, as they say, counsel. The court will hold this weapon as evidence. Just one single round, though, apparently. So, there's ammunition still loaded in 5 of these revolver 6 cylinders. Yes, which tells us that only one single shot has been fired from it. Exactly. The bullet that hit Hurley, in fact, isn't it? Yes, it happened almost as soon as we walked in through the Windbank's door. And make those brothers pay. Should we say, is there anything else to be noticed here? I don't think so. Okay. Now, learned Nipponese friend. Yes? Is you're successfully presenting the evidence. For yes, there are the telltale signs of spent powder in this gun, and a single bullet missing from the cylinder. The prosecution demands evidence that it was fired at the scene of the crime, under scrutiny in this trial. Objection! Well, I don't need evidence, because I was there.
Objection!
However, the rest of us in this courtroom were not. If the defense fails to present evidence in support of its rash claim, we shall have no choice but to toast your incompetence and move on. Evidence that these two fired that gun before they left Windbanks that night? The court demands that all claims are affirmed with clear proof. What evidence shows that these witnesses unloaded a firearm in the pawnbroker's shop that night? What? The fact that Sherlock Sholmes was shot. Unless you went this one. Like, are we assuming that that's the bullet? Maybe?
Take that!
The evidence is in this portfolio. What on earth have you there, counsel? During the course of our investigations, we discovered a number of bloodstains. I'm trusting the police to do the job they're trained to do. Arrogantly Nipponese of you. Well, anyway, we analyzed all the blood samples we found and recorded the results in this portfolio. Do you claim to have evidence the court is demanding therein? Yes, my lord. No more dallying, counsel. Present the pertinent evidence at once. It's pretty high up. What do you have in your portfolio that proves these witnesses unloaded a firearm at the scene? It's pretty high up, though. How did they... But they did say that they shot toward the door. But the angle is crazy. Wasn't Sholmes shot in the stomach?
Take that!
Like, that's closer to his head. What is that? Explain. It's a photographic print taken at Winterbank's pawnbrokery on the day of the incident. From the scene of the crime, is it? Is that a bullet hole? And do my eyes deceive me? And if my eyes do not deceive me, it appears the bullet is still lodged there. Yes, as your lordship noticed. The bullet pierced Mr. Winterbank's talon. The date shown being the 16th of April, the very day of the pawnbroker's death. The incident occurred 1 hour after midnight, but this indicates that a separate shot had been fired sometime after the calendar has been set on the 16th. That's right, and while it isn't refutable, the defense believes this is credible evidence that the witnesses did fire a round from their gun at the pawnbrokers that night. It seems so high. Ordar! How does the prosecution stand? Are you gonna throw that into the candle after you take a sip? If that's the direction my learned friend wishes to take, the prosecution has no objection. What? But you'll forgive me for flinging my hallowed chalice aside in disgust at the repugnancy it exposes. Yes, on the night in question, these brothers entered the pawnbrokery illegally. And like the bold baddies they claimed to be, opened fire on the new arrivals before fleeing back onto the street. Take it easy there, Governor. You're gonna land us on the stoop. We had a deal. You weren't gonna get into them details. Down, Skulky. Set the bloke straight. Nothing to add. So he knew, did he? Benzies knew their testimony would almost certainly expose the extent of their crimes. It would seem now that I owe my learned Ripley's friend a word of gratitude. What do you mean? What I mean is that you've helpfully confirmed an important fact. To what fact do you refer, Benzies? As has been established, at the point of their arrest, a single shot had been fired from the brother's gun. However, that shot found its target, and Mr. Sholmes. Then clearly these witnesses cannot be accused of the fatal shooting of the proprietor and victim. Ah! In other words, these two men have no material connection to the murder of Mr. Winterbank at all. Oh boy. This isn't gonna be easy. Is it? So that's it. Was that whole thing on purpose? That's it. We didn't have nothing to do with it. We didn't, Nash, we didn't. That's what I reckon. Crimes include unlawful entry, intent to steal, perjury, and let's not forget attempted murder. Quite a capital. Hey, fellows. Ah. We're in for it now, bruv. Now then. Let us take a moment to consider the aforementioned great detective, Mr. Herlock Sholmes. It would seem the man patronized pawnbrokers is in question somewhat regularly. Where's he going with this? Mr. Sholmes appears to take pleasure in tinkering with eccentric machinery. Eccentric? Says who? Not me. Don't give me that look. Or not me. Don't give me that look. Sorry, I'm distracted. He installed a pair of machines like this one in the victim's shop. Oh, the cameras. The cameras. Yes, the cameras. Wait, were they taking pictures at the time? Oh, that's one of Hurley's red-handed recorders. Do we see everything? What is that, Counsel? It has the appearance of a photographic contraption. As your lordship has surmised, it is indeed a camera attached to a small timing device. Every half an hour, it automatically photographs the interior of the establishment, the idea being that if a thief were to break into the shop, he would be caught red-handed. Prosecution has obtained the photographs taken by this device on the night in question. Wow, that's quite a pile. As a court will observe, copious identical prints are produced in quite a desultory fashion. Rather prodigal, I feel. In fact, there are 2 such devices in the victim's shop, my lord. Move for to report to the plan of the premises. Their respective positions are here and here. Okay. You say these cameras produce a print every half hour. I'm afraid I failed to see how that would help if the anticipated thief conducted his activities in one of the many 30-minute intervals. One can only pray that the would-be criminal lingers. Such a stack of figures. In the night in question, witness is currently in the stand and not caught on camera. That's a bit of Friar Tuck, eh, bruv? Lady Luck loves a skulking. Witnesses, at what time did your trespassing begin? It must have been just after 1. Right, bruv? Must have been, Nash, must have been. Yeah, just go on. In which case, minutes before this was entered the establishment. What scene would we expect to see within the shop? Let us examine the evidence. Uh-oh. Seeing the little picture of the picture makes me scared. Oh boy. Yeah. Good lord. It's the defendant. Miss Gina Lestrade. Not good for us. As the court can clearly see. The accused is pictured gun in hand, facing the victim over the shop counter. No doubt coercing the proprietor to open the door to his store. Quite. I can only too easily imagine the events that unfolded. The court will take this photographic print as evidence, if you please, counsel. Photograph taken automatically by the red-handed recorder, showing the scene a short time before the murder took place. Ugh. I don't believe it, Jenny. In short, the accused is the only person who could possibly have killed Mr. Winterbank. I say, my lord. Who's that? Oh no. I wonder if I might put a word in this point. Go ahead, Mr. Foreman. Took a volley bullet to the knee in the Battle of Maywand. 1880, don't you know? Decorated for it and all that, but forced to retire from service, sadly. Of course, the metal can never outshine the exploits of chaps like us on the battlefield. Yes, Mr. Foreman, and what exactly is your point? carried on the battle after retirement. You see, the battle of daily life, if you like. Here I am now, leading this small squadron. 6 men, all good and true. And we go down together. Mark my words, one for all and all for one. You're not telling me that the entire jury is making the decision already, are you? Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, have reached agreement, have we? Is that what we are to understand? Well, Mr. Foreman, is that correct? In a manner of speaking, yes. That's the Gardev Squadron's position, sir. What? No, it's too soon to make a judgment here. Status report for the court, man on the double. His lordship insists on promptitude at all times, and it goes for making decisions, too. Think you'll find the truth as clear as day now. I could reach out and touch it. I wouldn't have left it in there. I just wouldn't. But in all honesty, I can't actually remember. He's not even paying any attention. Situation clear. Stop. No room for doubt. Stop. Truth now undeniable. Stop. I am weary sorry for brothers. They are unlucky. Very well. I now call upon each member of the jury to state his or her leaning on this matter. Announce your considered verdicts to the court.
Guilty.
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 That was the quickest the jury has ever thought of. It does indeed appear that the jury is unanimous in its leaning already. That photograph must be the definitive evidence that Gregson mentioned. But Jeannie didn't shoot him. No, of course not. Especially not in that picture. My lord, the defense wishes to assert its right to a summation examination, because he was shot from behind, so she didn't shoot him in that particular. Very well, the court grants permission. So, you refuse to admit defeat again. How unsurprising. Yeah, well, you know it worked out the last few times. We shall proceed immediately with the summation examination. Mr. Foreman, are all members of the jury ready? Absolutely, sir. Always ready for action, my chaps. I've totally lost his voice, sorry. Very good. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, we will each explain on what grounds you have determined the defendant to be guilty. All the evidence clearly points to the finger of guilt to this young pickpocketeer. As a housemaid, I should like to see all filthy eyesores promptly and rigorously eliminated. I think you'll find that if you look at the photograph in stereo, the truth will just pop out. If I've left it in there, I should think there'll be repercussions by now. Mind made up. Stop. Global radio transmission and verdict to follow. Stop. In Motherland, we say never judge by looks, judge by head. I am convinced brothers are innocent. Circumstances of the crime and the evidence said to heed implicate the defendant rather comprehensively. The storeroom, locked from inside, in which the victim and the accused were discovered alone, and in the accused's hand the fatal revolver, the firing of which was heard by these witnesses. Not to mention this print! Take it from a chap who's seen action on the battlefield. That young girl's on the verge of pulling the bully trigger. Thanks a lot, Mr. Sholmes. Oh dear, Hurley's cameras were supposed to help, not hinder. I'm afraid I think you have an uphill struggle ahead of you. But Gina didn't shoot Mr. Winterbank. Which means there's more to the situation than we've yet to see. Agreed. You have the floor, counsel. Proceed with the summation examination. I'm debating whether to press everything. I don't think he's gonna change his mind exactly. Let's just press
Hold it!
You're Mr. Natsume's landlord, Mr. Garrett, aren't you? We really must stop meeting like this. Ah, you're that lawyer chap. Well, there's a turn up for their books. Yes, rather a turbulent time we had back then. Some extraordinary events took place at your house, that's for sure. Luckily, Mr. Sholmes and I were able to get to the bottom of it all. I think we did a rather lot for you, don't we? I mean, obviously, I wouldn't be suggesting that therefore you should change your leaning to not guilty or anything. Conflict of interest. I mean, come on, these jurors are not great. None of them have been good. Can't be denied, I suppose. The curse of the Garrett house was the talk of the town after that business. Lodgers moved out and I couldn't get a bally soul to take up the tenancies. Oh. I haven't had the heart to break the news to Joni yet. Bad enough the old girl's clapped up. Yes, can't be denied. You did do rather a lot. But not for us, that's for dashed certain. I suppose not. Of course. There'd be no suggestion of that being the reason I'm leaning toward guilty here, obviously. Obviously. But honestly, I really wish you'd pay more attention to the trial. Unless it's juror number 2. Wait. What are you implying here?
Hold it!
What do you mean? Polishing the bench, I see. Again. A maid's work is never done. Not a blemish must remain. What exactly do you mean by filthy eyesores? On my way to market for his lordship, I have to pass through the East End. The place is full of beggars, picket purses, and crossmen. The scum of the earth. A little harsh, perhaps. Let me be plain. If it were up to me, all those back slums would be made spick and span, or eradicated. At least we have people like the great detective working to achieve these important goals. You're referring to Mr. Holmes? Mr. Sherlock Sholmes? For some reason, today, I'm just like saying the actual Sherlock Holmes name. You're referring to Mr. Sherlock Sholmes? That's right. I like to keep abreast of his exploits by reading Ren's magazine between my duties. He does wonders cleaning up London streets. In my opinion, he should be declared an honorary maid of the capital. Mr. Sholmes, a maid. It's really quite unforgivable. And Gutter's got having the audacity to shoot our very greatest detective. You do realize that once we did that, are the witnesses on the stand, right? Minor detail. It was the 2 brothers in the stand who shot Mr. Sholmes, not the defendant. A minor detail indeed. They're all gutter scum as far as I'm concerned. Well, it just might be an idea to get our facts straight anyway. Yes, alright. I shall amend my statement. Oh, okay. Well, that has nothing to do with the guilty verdict of the thing, so that might be important later. Actually, I can press it.
Hold it!
I agree with you. Shooting Mr. Sholmes was an unforgivable act. But the purpose of this trial is to determine who shot the pawnbroker, Mr. Winnebank. I'm afraid you're splitting hairs, sir. Sorry. Whether it was the thieves or the pig purse, it was still gutter trash that shot the pawnbroker in the end. Filth that should be cleaned up and eradicated, in my considered opinion. Thanks so much for sharing. Changing this maid's mind isn't going to be easy. Bruno, it was one of these 2 brothers that shot Hurley, wasn't it? Yes, without question. Well then, I'll never forgive them. Oh, Iris. Perhaps we can use his maid's statement to help us somehow, don't you think? Yes, maybe. Let's listen carefully to what each juror has to say first. Yeah, no, I was getting there, Iris. I was just... Okay.
Hold it!
What do you mean, look at the photograph in stereo? Sorry? What? Don't you know? If you look at the photographic print normally... Looks as though the pickpocket girl's about to shoot the victim, obviously.
Objection!
But there's no indication that the defendant ever fired the gun. All I'm saying is that you look at the same print in stereo, it could reveal all sorts of new information. By any chance, are you a fan of stereoscopes? Oh, how did you know? Let's call it a lucky guess. Never gets old seeing the two prints merge into one before your eyes. It's extraordinary. It's captivating. It's the height of modernity. Of course. Yes, I think you find the stereoscope here. It's here to stay. Giving us new perspectives we could only dream of before. It's the greatest invention the world has ever seen. If only you could give me a new perspective on this case, I might agree with you.
Hold it!
What exactly have you been muttering about all this time, sir? You keep talking about having left something somewhere or something like that. Ah, so sorry. As you can probably tell, I'm a surgeon. A surgeon? That totally passed me by. Of course, people conducting surgery in this country aren't considered to be doctors, so no. Even though me and my kind are at the forefront of medical science, the real brains of the field. So what is it that you think you've left behind? Ah, well, that's a little embarrassing, to be honest. You see, I was operating on someone yesterday. Standard thing. Went through the abdomen. But when I'd finished the procedure, I couldn't find my scalpel anywhere. What? Did he? Surely not. Exactly, surely not, you see, don't you? Worrying, isn't it? That's what's been troubling me this whole time. Could I really have left my scalpel inside the fellow's belly? No, of course I couldn't. So, there you have it. Like I said, a little embarrassing, really. That's one way of putting it. The other's manslaughter. That's exactly my concern. Seeing as this case appears to be all but sewn up, I need to focus on trying to remember exactly what I've sewn up elsewhere. Now, I'm sure I made sure everything was back as it should be. Well, as sure as you can be without being sure. I'm sure you need to be more sure.
Hold it!
Sorry, radio transmission? What do you mean? Are you from the Far East? Stop. Yes, from the Empire of Japan. All communication with Far Eastern nations used to take place by mail. Royal Mail steamers take more than a month to complete the journey. Huh, but now we have the electric telegram, so we can send messages using electric signals. Thousands of miles of cables have been laid along the ocean beds, connecting the entire world. Thousands of miles of cable on the ocean bed? Makes my head hurt just thinking about it. You're a well-informed young lady. The cables will soon become a thing of the past. Stop. And just when I was starting to catch up. Radio transmissions of the future. Stop. Messages carried over airways for 4 corners of the globe. Stop. Excitement growing. Stop. Atmosphere electric. Stop. Right. Try not to wear out your fingers. Era of wireless telegraphy. Yes, telegraphy. Telegraphy? Stop. Driving technological revolution. Stop. And people say inventions like the stereoscope are the height of technology. What utter piffle. Can't understand it. I really can't. They're just silly toys. Sure, why not?
Excuse me.
Just juror number 3. Sorry to interrupt when you're obviously fuming, but... What? Oh, it's my favorite song again. Do you perhaps have something to say about juror number 5's last remark? As if I couldn't guess. Oh, you bet I do. Say that again. Go on. I dare you. Goodness, are you talking to me? I think you just might be, yes. You think stereoscopes are just toys to you, huh? Absolutely. I mean, really. A machine to view photographs in 3 dimensions. Why on earth would you not just use your eyes to look at the world around you? It's all 3-dimensional. What a great way to appease the man. No, I'm sorry. Stereoscopes are of no practical use at all. You just don't know. Pardon? I think you'll find the viewing a photograph through a stereoscope can unlock all sorts of possibilities. I'm obviously going to have to demonstrate. What sort of possibilities? Well, take the crime scene, for example. If you had a pair of photographs from the crime scene that you could view through the stereoscope, it could reveal hidden clues you've never noticed before. What? Have you got any, Reno? Any prints we could look at for through a stereoscope? Not of the crime scene. Well, I mean that, but don't you need two? How about this print here? It should do the trick, I think.
Take that!
Alright then, jar number 3. Are you saying you can do this with any two suitable photographic prints? Of course I can. Very well then, I'd like you to demonstrate. I'd be delighted to. Just give me one more print and I amaze you all. Oh, I don't have it. No, go back. I can't. Hold on. I'm gonna skip through this and not let it take any of your time. Well, I don't know. Maybe it'll be interesting to watch the reactions of things. Can I choose a different photo?
Take that!
Wait, sorry? What do you mean one more print? Oh dear, oh dear. Don't you have these in the Far East? Don't you know how a stereoscope works? You know. What? You need 2 photographs for a stereoscope, remember? Yeah, so somebody please give me... Yeah, that's why I was like, oh, I don't think I can do that. One for the left, one for the right. I remember now, but the print we have for the pawnbrokery is just a normal photograph. No, I think you'll find that the clue is in the name. It's a stereoscope, not a monoscope. You always need 2 prints. Thanks for friendly explanation. Well, if we obtain another print at some point later in the trial, we can always show it to this young man then. Ha! I think you'll find that know-it-all expression is really starting to annoy me. Let's get things back on track, shall we, Council? I mean, we have a zillion photographs from that. Whoops. I didn't mean to press A, I meant to press X. Or whatever it is, or L. We have a million photographs of that thing, because he has that stack of photographs.
Hold it!
So we can. Please tell me you're not villain Bolshevik. The Russian revolutionary. Revolutionary? Duh. I believe there is such a rumor. It's just a rumor. As you see, I have unfortunate rumors. I look like Bush's criminal. Your words, not mine. Just want to point that out. People call me revolutionary, murderer, autocrat. And which glove fits? Good day. I'm visiting London for sightseeing. I would like to take bus to Crystal Palace, please. Right. That didn't sound staged at all. But forgive me for having my doubts. To be treated like Bush's criminal all the time. It's very painful. People do not realize. So I have much sympathies for these brothers. People say they are criminals only because of how they look. The Skulking Brothers? Duh, maybe they went inside some pawnbroker's shop. But they've done nothing wrong. That's all I want to say. The Skulking Brothers did nothing wrong that night. first of all, that's one not so little misunderstanding I'll need to clear up straight away. Tell me something, Iris. What is it, Rena? The jurors are choosing at random from the inhabitants of London Town, aren't they? Yes, it's amazing, isn't it? In that case, how is it that there's a Russian tourist sitting among them who looks for all the world like a revolutionary? I wish I knew. Okay, let's at least clear up some things here. At the very least.
Objection!
Those two statements clearly contradict each other. Good lord. Counsel, explain yourself. Oh my statement? Contradictory? Juror number 6, you've got the wrong end of the stick. I do not have stick. I have mouse. As juror number 2 said earlier, when the Skulkin brothers fled the scene the night in question, they fired a shot from their revolver. Yes, they shot poor Mr. Sholmes in the abdomen, I understand. Surely you're not going to tell the court now that you didn't hear. Abdomen. Sir. Sorry. My English is still learning. You are telling the court you didn't hear. Forgive me, I did not hear. Here is word. Abdomen. Part of person's body containing stomach and other vital organs. If that's what you mean, you should say in plain English. I am Russian, not native speaker. Who thought it was a good idea to let this man be on the jury again? So, you are telling me these brothers who look like criminals were lying. They said before we never done nothing, but truth is, they shot detective. This is double negative. Yes, that's exactly right. Lying is wrong, especially when lie is said by a person who looks like criminal. Coming from you, that seems surprisingly prejudiced. This means, when they said we never took nothing, maybe it was also a big fat lie. Is this true? Well, according to the police report, no stolen goods were found, so... Enough! I trust no one now. It's not the mouse's fault, though, sir. I must see with my own eyes. I must investigate crime scene myself. I'm afraid that won't be possible. Yes, it is, Reno. Easy. Sorry. With the prints from Hurley's red-handed recorder. If you compare the print of the pictures to Ginny and the next print from half an hour later, you'll be able to see straight away if anything was taken or not. Cooey, Mr. Prosecutor. Tut. Calling on the prosecution in the middle of a summation examination of all times. The prints showing the accused threatening the victim after she broke into the shop is this one. Following this, the victim and the accused moved to the store. Meanwhile, the Skulkin brothers entered the shop and similarly heard the fatal gunshot ring out. Sadly, none of these events were captured on film. This is the print produced by the camera half an hour later after the brothers' flight. So this was taken after Hurley was shot, then. As far as I can tell, nothing has been taken. It does seem to be the case. I can't notice anything that's obviously missing in the second print. But we now have a second photo. So the brothers who look like criminals totally lied. They shot men, but they stole nothing. It would seem so, yes. Good. No, not good. You were right. I did not understand the situation. I did not understood the situation. Now I know brothers have lied. I think it's very important to continue a trial. Oh, it's a start. Yay! Well done, Reno. Balance is shifting. Well, it's a start, I suppose. Interesting that he was the one to do it. To the criminal guy. But there must be more in what those jurors are saying that I can use to expose the truth. And if I can do that, we might just turn the situation to our favor still. Thank you, Counsel. Continue with the summation examination. And kindly hand a new photographic print to the bailiff's file as evidence. Yay! Okay, buddy. Another print? I wonder what that will help us do. I know what will help us do.
Hold it!
Do I just press him? Will he show up new clues, though? Don't know until you try. Okay. Thank you. We'll do this print. Sorry, I pressed the wrong button.
Take that! Take that!
Alright, guys. 2 prints we've both taken with the same camera on Windibanks on the night in question. Yes, I see. Tell me, Mr. Lawyer. Do you know how stereographic images work? Do you understand the principle? Well, I think so. I did have a lesson only yesterday. The left eye and the right eye images need to be the same, only with a slight shift in the positions of some objects. Then, when your brain merges the 2 images together inside your head, notices the shift as if it were depth. Yes, exactly. It's a small shift between certain objects in the 2 pictures that's really important. So, what happens if you use 2 photographs that are exactly the same then? No, obviously that wouldn't work at all. Not for seeing the scene 3-dimensionally, anyway. Oh! Oh! Of course, now I see! I think the young girl has discovered the secret. I have! I love the cross-eyed look. Can you uncross your eyes before you tell me? Have another look at these 2 pictures from Early's camera, Runo. Go on! Alright. Cross your eyes. There's a really obvious difference between them. We need to cross our eyes and... Well, the difference is the fact that Gina and the proprietor aren't there. That's for one. There's also... Yeah. Can you see it? I mean, I guess you could see it without crossing your eyes too. But if you cross your eyes, you'll see that the differences are like vaguely there, whereas the rest pops out very clearly. So that's going to become important as well. Cool. Can't you see that there's really an obvious difference between them? Of course there is. There are 2 people in the first and no people in the second. Well, yes, you can see that straight away. But now, try looking at the pictures in 3 dimensions. Alright, I'll give it a go. So to start with, you have to cross your eyes and then try to make the 2 pictures overlap exactly. Let's see if I cross my eyes, I can make the quill pens from each picture overlap in the middle. Okay, I like how they give you, like, a thing to put together. Like, specifically the quill pen. Wait. Well, did you manage to see it properly, Runo? What's going on with these 2 pictures? Some of the things on the counter sort of jump out at you. Yep. He's not crossing his eyes, he's using the thing. Yes, that's it, you see? That's the other amazing power of stereoscopes. Yeah, sorry, I should have also specified that if it pops out at you, because that's what he's been saying. If it pops out, it's a difference. And for some reason, these things up here were popping out. Other amazing power? something going to explain this. Black magic, eh? Why the deuce do some of the things on the counter seem to jump out at you like that, hmm? I think you'll find that you'll consider the basic principle of the stereoscope. You'll answer your own question. Basic principles, the stereoscope. As I said before, if you try to look at two identical pictures using a stereoscope, it won't work at all. It's a slight shift in the positions of certain objects that lets the pictures three-dimensionally. So like the lamp was broken in one and not in the other, so that had that faded look that I was talking about before, along with the two people being all faded in. But then the thing that jumped out at you was the thing that shifted, moved. In other words, let's look at it again. That is really cool, though, that it does that. Very neat to see. But yeah, it has like this sort of like depth to it. Even though at first glance it seems the objects on the counter haven't moved at all between the two pictures. This shows that actually there must have been a slight shift in their positions. Yes, there must have been. I wonder if you could do something like that with, like, you know, the spot the difference pictures? I wonder if crossing your eyes at them would help. Now hold fire there, sir. Got a reasonable grasp of the whole cross-eyed business now, I'd say. But why the devil does the shift between two prints exist in the first place? Well, what's the answer, fellow? Come on, you're the cross-eyed master. What, me? I have the first idea. You know, Rena, it's quite simple. It is. Just think through step by step. The first photograph was taken at 1 a.m. Then, 30 minutes later, the second photograph was taken. But the position of some items on the counter appears to have shifted slightly in the interim. So that means... that sometime in the half-hour interval, someone must have tampered with the things on the counter. Zookers! Zookers. Someone tampered? New information. Stop. Not mentioned in testimony so far. Stop. Yes. We've had to go around in circles a little here, it seems. But I'm starting to see what I should be aiming at in the summation examination now. Ladies and gentlemen, the question now is clear. We know the items on the countertop were moved, but by whom? Are you suggesting you might know? Of course. I can tell you right now who's responsible for the almost imperceptible shift in the items on the counter. Our good friends here. I guess I could just choose one of them. It's weird that they don't have their own. Just one profile for all of them. But yeah, we're proving that they did more.
Take that!
It was the witnesses currently on the stand, the Skulkin brothers. Wait. This does not agree with what brothers said in testimony before. They said they did not even have time to pull dukes from Lucy lockets. My phrasebook says dukes meaning hands and Lucy lockets meaning pockets. Oh, thank you for the translation. But this, another lie? Is this what you are saying? Yes, I'm afraid so. Now hold on there a minute. You can't be sure of that. I quite agree. The accused is a common pick purse after all. It's perfectly possible that she went through things on the desk to see what she might steal. I think that's unlikely. And why exactly? As you can see from this photographic print, the defendant was pointing a gun at the victim. It would seem, as my learned friend indicated, that she was coercing Mr. Windibank to open the storeroom door. In other words, Miss Lestrade's interests lay within the storeroom, not in the main shop, giving her no reason to touch anything on the counter. All of which points to one thing. The Skulkin brothers have omitted key facts in their testimony. But the accused is a big purse, common gutter trash. Why look any further for the wrongdoer here? Because the Skulkin brothers are thieves, madam. No better, in fact worse, than a pig purse. I believe that these brothers were looking for something in the victim's counter that night. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, if you would condemn the defendant on the grounds that she is a pickpocket, would it not at least be right and proper to thoroughly scrutinize testimony given against her by two thieves? Well said. I, for one, would like to hear more from this shady pair. I was not expecting that. Can you all see now? I think you'll find stereoscopes are playthings. You'll see their extraordinary potential firsthand. Wholeheartedly agree. Stop. Must purchase after trial. Stop. We'll return home via Regent Street. Stop. Well, it would seem this trial is to run its course. The ladies and gentlemen of the jury have declared their inclinations via the mighty scales of justice. I hereby call the summation examination to conclusion with the balance altered in the defendant's favor. 2 lean to guilty, 4 lean to not guilty. Accordingly, the jury is without consensus. And I order this trial to continue. Yay! Well done! Oh, by the way, what? You should hold on to this, Reno. You never know when it might come in useful. Twice in one trial would be unusual, surely, but alright. Pop your 2 prints in here to start with, you see. And then when you look through the eyepieces, you can see the image in 3 dimensions. The important thing is to get right the position of the 2 prints. I don't know who came up with the idea of stereoscope, but it's really quite fascinating. Lord Van Zeeks. You will instruct the witnesses that the court demands additional testimony from them. Is he gonna throw that aside again? I'm sure it won't spoil the bouquet to do so, my lord. I've won myself another chance to probe that pair about their activities that night at least. And I won't stop probing them until I've proven that Gina is innocent. To be continued? To be continued. Well, look at us go. Already done with one part of the trial. Pretty good. And not too bad for it. Yeah, the stereoscope thing is going to be super fun, so stay tuned and keep practicing crossing your eyes, I guess. It's making me a little dizzy to keep doing that at the screen. But it's fun. We have so much more to see. Like, we haven't figured out anything. All we've got was like, oh, these are the 2 guys that shot at Sholmes. Why were they there? What were they up to? I mean, clearly they wanted to steal something. So what were they looking for? And what were they stealing? And why did they only subtly move the things on the desk? And then they heard the gunshot, I guess? I don't know. There's a lot to be done here. So we will keep it going next time. Talk to you guys then.